Hey, it's Chuck Wilson, Bootlegger Guitar. Happy today in the hot Los Angeles warehouse of Bootlegger Guitar to introduce our new Bootlegger Guitar Attenuator, or Mr. Farty Pants, as he is now called. The artwork was from my buddy Garth Van Omen, who's an incredibly talented, kind of a freak brother-ish style, if you know what that is, art guy. And I give him ideas, he comes up with concepts. So when I saw this artwork, that's when I named this attenuator Mr. Farty Pants. I guess that's obvious. The reason is an attenuator is a heat sink or heat soak. What it does, it allows you to lower the volume on your amp cabinet while you're crunching the tubes in your tube head. You run this out of the tube head in and then out into a cabinet. Tubes, as you know, love to be driven hard. The negative part of that is it gets very loud. To drive a tube hard, you get a lot of heat out of the head and a lot of volume. So a heat sink soak attenuator, what it does is it dissipates the heat and the energy from the volume of the signal without degrading the sound of the tube crunch from your head. So it allows you to push your tube amplifier hard, but then at a bedroom level or a studio level. I use it now for gigs because sometimes when I play in smaller clubs like our local VFW, I can't get the crunch I want at a lower volume, so with the attenuator it's simple. I just plug this in between my head and my cabinet, make the adjustment, and I can crunch as much as I want. So the Bootlegger Attenuator, this is very much a professional unit. This is not some of the less expensive, cheaper toys on the market. One of the things you can tell by an attenuator how good it's going to work is by its weight. The energy has to go somewhere, and there's heat sinks in the side of this, similar like what you might find like in a gaming computer and such, but heavier, that allow the heat to be removed and then dissipate. So our attenuator is volume on the front panel. That's the volume between your head and your speaker. And then the line level is basically your headset level, because on the back of the attenuator you have a headset out. So why would you want to use that? Well, it's pretty cool if you want to get that crunch sound, but you don't want to run it through your cabinet, maybe at a rehearsal or at home. Plug in your headset in the back and you'll get the audio coming out only from your headset, into your headset. It's also used as a DI out. Attenuators, they get into such things as like cab simulation and such, and I never liked that. If you want to run a cab simulator between this, your direct out into a cab sim into whatever you're recording with, that's fine, but this is designed to do exactly what it does, work as a professional level attenuator at a more reasonable price than some of the very expensive attenuators. So as you can see, you have the 3-pin out to a mixing board or what have you. You also have your speaker out. That's what goes into your cabinet, your amplifier cabinet. You have your headset out in a quarter size plug, just like the speaker out. Then you have options of 4 ohms, 8 ohms, 16 ohm. So this has many, many features. It's a really cool unit. Maximum 100 watt. And I get asked that a lot. Can you attenuate higher than 100 watt amp? No. Well, you can do it, but you might not like what happens when you do it. This is rated to 100 watts. So use it from your 5 watt all the way up to 100 watt amp. You can also use this with a combo amp. In other words, you have the amplifier and the speaker in one box. That's a combo. but you would need to install 1/4-inch plugs from the speaker wires. In other words, from the amp to your speaker, you have speaker wires. You would need to cut those, install 2/4 plugs and in and out, attach that to your cabinet for the best safety, and then you could plug this in between your amp and your speaker in a combo cabinet. So it is very versatile. It's an excellent attenuator, and I'll do some demos here now on our Blues 30 amp. So this is with the attenuator set on 1, and the amp is, you'll see in the picture, it's maybe at 1/4 volume. As I said, I can't get too loud in here, but it gives you a good idea. I'm getting full tube crunch at a very low output volume because the attenuator is soaking up that heat and that energy. Now, one thing I've learned with attenuators is that when you want to set it, make sure that your volume on your guitar is full. So you're getting the maximum signal out of your guitar into the attenuator, and then attenuate that in accordance to how you have the amp set. Do some samples for you. I have the Bootlegger Blues 30. The gain is on 6, the volume is on 3. The attenuator, as you see in the video, is on 4. So I'm attenuating the volume level from the amp being on those settings down to a much more manageable volume. This is maybe a volume setup I use when I play smaller clubs. I absolutely love the Blues 30 crunch, and I love the fact that the attenuator lets me gain it with a lower volume. So. So that is the Blues. I'll take a picture of the settings in the Blues 30, but as I said, its gain is on 6, volume is on 3. Okay, I've now decreased the volume. The gain is on 10 and the volume is on 5. And the attenuator is on 2, as you can see on the video. You can see I'm playing through the Bootlegger Rye Memphis. I'll have the Delta acoustic version out in September 23. So I now have the amp cranked volume and gain to 10, and see what happens with the attenuator set on 1. All right. Okay, so now the amp, both the gain and volume are on 10, and I have the attenuator on 3. Check that. I have the attenuator on 2. Very cool. Feedback from the low volume off of the attenuator, and so at a lower volume you can go crazy with the tubes, and that's a lot of fun. So this gives you a few ideas of how the attenuator works. It simply works beautifully. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Chuck Wilson, Bootlegger Guitar.